What I love about the Canadians is I always feel that you have the sort of British manners, you know, sort of dapperness, but then you have the American optimism. Sort of got the best of both worlds. It's very nice.
I will tell you that I have been spending many nights the last few days with the world that you created, the Black Lake. I've been in my mind to Heaven Bridge, like, you know, so congratulations on this achievement. The New York Times bestseller list. You know, the updated list said #4 ahead of Harry Potter. How are you feeling right now?
It's amazing. First of all, thank you so much for having me on your show. You guys have a special place in my heart. I feel incredibly proud and grateful. It's quite overwhelming, if I'm really honest, because I've worked a long, long time on this book, and to get that recognition, it makes me want to cry, actually. Connecting with her of all ages, it's really nice. It makes me, like, my heart go, ah.
You've given, you know, the world of books a new character in Rosie Frost. So let's talk about Rosie. I dressed for Rosie today. These are roses on my shoulder. So tell us, who's Rosie Frost?
You know, she was born out of the idea that the world needs a new hero. Someone ordinary, vulnerable, and doesn't have the answers, sometimes makes mistakes.
Yep.
She is suddenly orphaned. And, you know, there's a lot of orphaned characters in stories, but I would say the difference between Rosie, I think she's a modern day hero. She's unairbrushed. She's angry. She doesn't know how to process those feelings. So I think millennials, and they all process their feelings, you know, beyond, and you feel that. But also it's a modern day adventure. It's an action adventure, you know, set on Bloodstone Island, which is an island a bit like Jurassic Park, but no dinosaurs, just endangered animals. The school is built by Queen Elizabeth I 500 years ago in honor of her mother, Anne Boleyn, who was shamed for being smart, and this is her redemption. But Queen Elizabeth I, she builds this school, and she says, imagine if your dad had chopped your mother's head off, which had happened to her. She says, you know what? I'm not going to get married. Instead, my legacy are going to be the pupils, their ideas at this school. And so 500 years later, Rosie Frost gets sent to this school, and she's like, what the hell am I doing here? You know, she enters first for self-gain, but then she suddenly finds the courage she never knew she had through the Ghost Queen, Anne Boleyn, and the Falcon Queen rules, which anyone can use.
Well, you know, we meet Rosie. You know, the book cover is right behind you. The first visual image of her is that she has fiery red hair, which happens to be a physical attribute that we associate with you. So how much of you is in Rosie?
I can't help write about what I know. And when I create characters, you do put a little bit of you in, definitely. I mean, I'll tell you what, the one subject matter that's in there that is very much me. I lost my father when I was very young, and it was really painful, and I felt embarrassed of my feelings. That opening chapter, I wrote that last. The publisher said to me, we need a backstory of where she came from, show it. And I wrote that chapter, and after I submitted it, I was like, oh my God, I've just showed really an element of what I experienced. I was in a class, I got pulled out of class and was told, your dad is dead. And it was really awful. And so I kind of used it for her. So there is elements of that stumbling vulnerability, but then she takes a life of her own. And yes, the red hair, but I just think when you have red hair, you're in your own lane. I mean, there are a lot of red heroes, so.
I really, really love that she does have a distinct look, and that it comes up in the story very organically through some of the teasing that she experiences, and that is a reality for people I know who all have red hair, have similar experiences. So I do think that people will be able to relate to that. And I wanted to talk to you about, you know, being a writer, because you wrote your autobiography in 1999, If Only. You've written a series of children's books called Eugenia Lavender. This is your first full-length young adult book. What do you love about writing?
Well, I studied English literature before I went into the music industry. So I love reading when I was younger, and I love the power of words. And I wouldn't say I'm no Mariah Carey, okay? but I always loved the writing part of music. I felt confident in that. And I mean, it never left me. And I always liked storytelling. And what I really love about it is, okay, let's ask ourselves, how much control do we really have in our lives? You know, what people think, what the weather is, I don't know, whether we get the job, I don't know, whether people like us. When you write, something interesting happens. You get to decide who lives, who dies, who laughs, who cries, what the weather is, what's going to happen. And it's sort of like being charged to play God. It's quite an interesting experience, and it's really immersive.
Yeah.
So I really do like it. And I fall in love with my characters. That I'm looking at you and thinking, oh, she reminds me a little bit of Bina. Just your energy. Do you like that? Do you like Bina? Have you met Bina yet?
I want to be the roommate wrestler.
You are her! She has a multicultural background. She has a Muslim cultural background, but she likes wrestling, which is based on someone that I actually know. She's kind and gorgeous. She's the friend that you're going to want to have, the roommate you're going to want to have. And so you're Bina. I was looking at you. You've given me total Bina energy.
You've just made my life. Thank you so much.
Oh, so nice.
You're a storyteller, so it takes different forms, whether it's music or books, and now you've written these books that can be shared. So on that note, you've just announced a partnership recently with the Barbara Bush Foundation, where proceeds will support the organization, but the program encourages reading and makes reading accessible to young readers. Why was this partnership so important to you?
I always think it's really wonderful to be able to give. I learned the more I give to the world, the more the world will give to you. So it's nice to share a little bit of your, fruition and share it with something that matters. And for me, I mean, I used to work for the United Nations, and what I learned there, if you educate a girl, for example, send her to school, the whole economy of a village goes up, everything is better. And that's exactly the same with North America, Canada. These are just facts, okay? And just consider me your first cousin. I love you, I care about you. That's all, as you care about me. And I'm learning that if you help educate parents, in their reading, just help them in that respect, then the kid learns from the carer or the counsellor or whoever's with them. By doing so, you help the economy, you help your healthcare, you help self-esteem. Everything thrives from a simple solution of learning to read. And then you sort of learn to read, then you read to learn. So I thought, you know what? America has given so much to me. Can I give something back to America? Because, I used to watch those American televisions like Rocky, you can do it attitude. That's not British.
Yeah.
I feel like we're cousins, We've always helped each other out. So if I can do that in any way, that's a blessing.
I will say that I started reading young, and books at many times in my life saved my life and were really, really important to me. And so I still read young adult novels because it's my favorite genre. I will say, though, that young adult readers are very discerning. They have a very high BS meter. And you have young adults with you at home, daughter Bluebell, you have Monty, Olivia. So is there a sample reading audience at home that you work with? What do they think of Rosie?
So you're absolutely right. I think that it's so easy to underestimate a young person. They can spot the BS like that.
Right.
They're smarter than anyone can give them credit for. And sometimes I think adults can project their own misery and failures onto them. And I want, young adults, it can be from 10 upwards. I want a 25, 55. What I did was early drafts. I gave it to my goddaughter, Sky. She's mentioned at the top of the book. And she read it and she went to me, yeah, but I want my hero to just be a little bit more oomph about her.
Okay.
But then I just thought a real person, a modern day hero, is vulnerable, is not claiming to have all the answers. Rather than pretending to be this alpha girl, I just don't think that exists anymore.
So you are now a New York Times best-selling author. A multi-book author and an established storyteller and writer in different mediums. So you've got books, autobiography, fiction, nonfiction, and songwriting. And I wanted to ask you, in terms of the art of songwriting, from that perspective, is there a particular Spice Girls song that you're the most proud of from the writing perspective?
They both do the same thing. My objective is to make you feel something, to connect.
Yeah.
And with a song, it's more like an espresso coffee, just one shot, and you're going to get your uplift, your connection. And when you're telling a story, there's more of a 7-course meal, and I want you to go on that journey. The song stopped, just that chorus. I wrote those 2 lines, that hook in my bed.
Stop
and then
right now. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that, and I took it to Melanie C, and we went into studio, and then we built on that. It's such a collaborative, thing. When you stand in truth, your words have power.
Yes.
Whether it's song or storytelling, I think to connect, you have to be brave and I'm hoping you feel my heartbeat thumping across the pages. If you just want fast action, it's there. But I try to make it so, the boys are strong, but the boys cry. And sometimes the girls save the boys. They're sort of much more 3-dimensional characters.
It's very powerful to be able to do something with words that people then will repeat almost as a mantra, whether it's through a song or in a book at different points in their lives. Like from the book, when you talk about courage, and Anne Boleyn tells her, have courage and do the thing that you fear the most. And that is going to be read over and over again by thousands or more readers. That is a superpower. So congratulations.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate, you reading it.
I want to take a trip down memory lane because the last time we talked was a way back, Geri. It was in 2007, and it was in Vancouver.
Wow.
Because you and the girls were on tour. And that was the last time we spoke. And I just want to know, we're in Canada here. We miss you. We do have F1 races, Montreal Grand Prix. Are you coming back in 2024?
Vancouver has got a particular special place in my heart. You've always been so loyal and kind and loving, the girls and myself. But the last time I was there, you actually helped me with some research for Rosie Frost, because the book cover, the actual styling, I actually went into these animation bookshops. It was in Vancouver.
Yeah.
While Christian was racing, I went on a little adventure around some shops in Vancouver, and I found these amazing books. And then I showed the style of art that I wanted it to be for the cover, and it was from Vancouver.
We love that there's a Canadian connection with Rosie Frost.
Yeah, I love about the Canadians is I always feel that you have the sort of British manners, sort of dapperness, but then you have the American optimism. Sort of got the best of both worlds. It's very nice.
Well, Geri, it's been so fun talking to you again. Can't congratulate you enough on the reaction and the reception to Rosie Frost. It's a thrill to see you thriving.
Thank you, and you. It's so lovely to see you. And thank you for everyone embracing Rosie. I really appreciate it.
I will now introduce myself as Bina to everybody. So
you're so Bina, the way you are just warm, sassy.
Well, hopefully next time we talk, it'll be in person. Bye.
Yeah,
thanks, Geri.
Thank you so much.
Like the video? Then hit the button, or better yet, drop us a comment. Then check out our latest videos here. And don't forget to subscribe by hitting the button here for more celebrity interviews and entertainment news.